Hey everybody, good evening to you. This is about 5:30 on Monday evening, looking at a severe weather threat for tomorrow, Tuesday. I think it's going to be a Tuesday afternoon out in central Kansas, moving towards southeast Kansas. And then we're going to be talking about very southeastern Kansas, southwestern Missouri for a severe linear mesoscale convective system anywhere after midnight. A little bit of a disagreement in the model, but I'm going to show you what all the solutions could be looking at tomorrow evening into the early morning hours of Wednesday. So as soon as I got home today, I went ahead and started pulling the latest Storm Prediction Center data, and here that is. The big change from this morning's forecast is this 3 out of 5. That's going to be that orange color there in the middle of your screen, sliding across state line now, just into Cass County, Bates County, and south into Vernon County just a little bit. That has shifted just a little bit to the east since this morning's data. So that is, again, the 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for severe weather for tomorrow, mostly talking about the afternoon and evening hours. However, everybody around, not out of the woods, you can see there the 2 out of 5 slight risk covering everybody else in my forecast area. Here is the tornado outlook. No significant change. It's low. It's not zero, and I'm concerned about supercells forming probably in the late afternoon hours. I'll show you the data on that. Although I think the predominant threat, if we can get past those potential long-track supercells tomorrow afternoon into the evening, I think the predominant threat is going to be strong, damaging winds with that system that looks to move through towards the evening hours. So here is what I see looking at tomorrow. Let's go through this one step at a time. I have data pulled up to about 7 a.m. So wake up time tomorrow, we should be able to look out to central Kansas, just to the east a little bit. Should see some thunderstorms out here around Hutchinson and Wichita, moving off to the south and the east. Will these be severe? The further that you go north, probably not. But these little storms that are going to sweep through Wichita, between, say, Wichita and Emporia there, along the I-35 corridor, these may be severe, if not just robust thunderstorms. Looking at your early Tuesday morning, this is now up to about 8 o'clock. As it moves toward Kansas City and points to the south, up and down the 69 and I-49 corridors, I think it resolves to mostly rain. You guys can see that here. So rainfall for Kansas City, light to moderate at times, and then as we move through the day, it pretty much dissipates, except for along the 70 corridor up there between Topeka and Kansas City. Look at that, moving in the afternoon hours now up to about 4 p.m. for your Tuesday afternoon. And then I want to go ahead and back out. Let me go ahead and back up just a little bit here. And look what starts to develop. Let's go ahead and back this up to about 7 p.m. So anywhere between 5 and 7 p.m., this data is suggesting, look out here in central Kansas for these strong, discrete thunderstorms that may come together. Here is what is concerning me as these move through. These will populate more and more. I'm up to about 9 p.m. now, and I'm going to show a little bit of data. First, I'm going to show CAPE values, and then I'm going to show these helicity tracks. And these concern me because when the data comes together in this way, I'm just moving helicity backwards and forwards. What we have the potential for there are supercells that come together and they stay together because they just keep finding this favorable environment that's going to build all afternoon tomorrow with the heating. So that is the risk with these with these discrete cells that may form well out ahead of the line, which you can see getting together there in its first iteration out over northern Kansas. And so we're going to be watching central Kansas headed off to the south and the east as we move in the evening. I mean, that's where the tornado threat is. I'll show you a little bit of data on that. As we move into the evening, though, this is now about 9:10 p.m. I'm going to hop over to North American model forecast data to play this through now, resolving this as a strong MCS with a linear formation with possible big bowing segment. Here is what's showing up. Keep in mind, this is just data, but I'm up to about 11 p.m. now. So looking towards midnight, I do think we are starting to flirt with state line here, possibly closing in on Fort Scott, but the stronger activity might be south of Fort Scott to the south and the west, down here towards Pawnee Station, Hepler, Walnut, Erie, Thayer, Moorhead, over here on the Kansas side. So let me just kind of play that through for you. Here is what happens between midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. over into Wednesday morning. Little bit of disagreement on the timing, not much disagreement on the placement. So if you are in this area, just know we're looking after midnight for sure, but North American model suggesting this happens at right at midnight. HRRR data suggesting it's a little bit later, maybe 3 a.m. But the placement and the type of storms and the type of threats that we're going to see, not much disagreement there. Let me drop back a cycle and play what continues, because we haven't really talked about Wednesday. And Wednesday afternoon, there is an enhanced risk that's covering central Missouri, picking up over towards St. Louis, and this will be for strong thunderstorms, possibly discrete cells. You can see them moving there, and then it's going to pick up later in the evening. What time am I up to now? Wednesday evening at about 6 p.m., 7 p.m., possibly another linear threat converging over toward the St. Louis area. So that is the initial data for this evening that I'm seeing. I'm going to look at supercell composite for just a moment. This is data that I look at. Sometimes I put it up. I put it up when it's concerning, just to show the area. So these numbers that you're seeing pop up, this is a scale of 1 to 50. So we are seeing some teens. So you can see with me southeast Kansas. Let me look at my time frame here. This is late tomorrow night, about 10-11 p.m. So let me back it up into the afternoon hours. You can see we're going to be watching for those strong supercells. Those produce big hail and the potential for those tornadoes. And so that's my concern, is that those supercells would come together, hang together for quite a while. On the other side of this, lots of people trying to get stuff done outside. Certainly understand that. Man, that's been tough. So do think we are going to see some rainfall put down with this by the time that all is said and done. I'm looking at Wednesday here. What might we have on the ground for rainfall? Up around Kansas City, a little bit more than 1.5 inches. Missouri side, it's going to be hit and miss, because I think you're on the northern edge of those thunderstorms. So I think these values are going to be all over the place. I wouldn't take them too seriously right now, but we can say that the ballpark is up around 1.5 inches, a little bit less over towards, look at Clinton, 1.35. Down to the south on the Missouri side, anywhere between 1.5 inches and almost 2.25. Looking at southeast Kansas to get around 2 inches, maybe a little bit more. 2.5 though, out toward central Kansas. So those are the threats that I see coming through. Like I say, tomorrow, I think the bottom line is we're basically going to see rain showers in the morning, light to moderate, nothing expected to be severe, maybe for you guys out there around Wichita, and points to the southeast. And I think it is in the afternoon, late afternoon hours, we're going to start watching central Kansas. And the closer we get to midnight, we're going to watch for a damaging wind threat to sweep through for sure. So bottom line, take home message is absolutely make sure that you have ways to get weather alerts overnight. That is a significant threat. All the data is in pretty good agreement that there is a linear MCS that moves through. Timing is a little bit uncertain, but we want to make sure that we can wake you up and talk you through it. I will be here to track it all the way through our area. You can follow me here on Facebook if that's what you're doing. YouTube channel is 660 Weather as well. I appreciate your subscriptions there as well. Keep you posted. I will do my best. In the meantime, it's a beautiful, if not a little bit muggy, Monday evening. It's 5:41 p.m. Have a great night. Catch you later.